I feel bad for Elizabeth Warren on this. Elizabeth Warren, I mean, let's just call it what it is. She sold Bernie Sanders out in 2016. She suddenly forgot who's more progressive between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. She chose not to endorse during the primary. Well, we know why. I mean, WikiLeaks showed she was already angling with Hillary Clinton's campaign for a potential spot in a Clinton administration. I mean, usually when you make little deals like that, you get something in return later. Elizabeth Warren staying silent in that primary. I'm not saying it's why Hillary Clinton won, but it made a difference. Might have helped Bernie win Massachusetts. He only lost by 1%. Well, for that favor to Hillary Clinton to not endorse the actual progressive in the race, here's how Hillary Clinton just repaid Elizabeth Warren. Can't make it up.
Mm-hmm. Do you support a wealth tax?
You know, I don't know the details of it. I hear about it. I hear what it would cover. I don't understand the mechanism that would be required. I would prefer to go the approach that I put forth when I ran. You know, that was, you know, I'm not against, you know, raising rates. I'm not against, you know, getting rid of things like carried interest, which I think have, you know, gone way past their sell date. And there's a lot of other things that I would be very willing to support. I just don't understand how that could work, and I don't see other examples anywhere in the world where it has actually worked over a long period of time. We used to have a wealth tax. It was called the estate tax. I would be all in favor of reinstating the estate tax because that is much more measurable. It is not as disruptive. You know, if you were going to do a wealth tax, and it was on assets, which as I understand it is what they're looking to do.
That's what they're looking to do with
How you would value it is, you know, I think complicated to start with, but assume you could get some system of valuation. People would literally have to sell assets to pay the tax on the assets that they owed before the wealth tax was levied. That would be incredibly disruptive. So I think there are other ways to raise the revenues and ways that do get those who are well off to pay more, because I do think we've got to have that as part of our effort to combat inequality and to, you know, really, I think it would do more to jumpstart, you know, people's initiative and get back to a feeling we're all in this together. So I just think there are better ways of doing it.
Let's just call it what it is. You know, Elizabeth Warren supporters won't like it, but we got to live in the real world. She sold Bernie down the river in 2016. I'm not saying her endorsing Bernie would have won it for Bernie, but it would have helped. It was the right thing to do if you're a progressive. So she sold Bernie down in the river thinking like Hillary Clinton was going to do something for her. And what is Hillary Clinton doing for her? Leaving her stranded on the other side of the river without a paddle. And by the way, it's not just Hillary Clinton slamming Warren or saying it won't work, Warren's signature little plan, which, by the way, Warren's wealth tax is not a new thing. Bernie proposed it many years before. But putting that aside, Warren is also, Hillary Clinton, unsurprisingly, has also come out against Warren's Medicare for All plan, saying it would never get enacted, which is why she's not president, because Hillary Clinton was the no, we can't candidate. Not that Donald Trump meant any of the things he said, but Hillary Clinton's message was no, we can't. And now she can in the woods. You know, she loves going in the woods. So what I find so funny about this, besides the fact that Hillary Clinton is just like unsurprisingly burned Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton has unsurprisingly burned Elizabeth Warren and just stood her at the altar. Elizabeth Warren thought like, oh, if I scratch Hillary's back now, she'll scratch my back later. Not going to happen. But Hillary Clinton is just so full of shit. So let's take this through, point by point. You're telling me America could figure out how to coordinate bombing 9 countries at once? You're telling me America could figure out how to be in endless war around the world? How America could figure out how to give subsidies to Goldman Sachs, Pfizer, Raytheon, Boeing? How America could deregulate pretty much every industry that their donors, I'm talking about the politicians, American government is competent enough to do all of these things, but they're not competent enough to take a certain percentage of money out of the richest among us, earnings, stock portfolio, whatever. It's so difficult. This is the argument you keep hearing from wealthy people like Hillary Clinton. It's not practical. It would be hard to enforce. It would be hard to figure out how to do it. Well, I think if we could figure out how to bomb 8 or 9 countries at once, I think if we could figure out how to spy on our citizens in mass surveillance all over the country, I think if we could figure out how to do facial recognition on our citizens without them knowing, I think if we could figure out a very, very convoluted, complicated system, how to basically suck as much money as humanly possible out of the sickest among us in a for-profit system, I think if we could figure out how to jail as many black and brown and indigenous people as possible in for-profit prisons, I could go on, folks. I think if we could figure out how to do all that, I think we could figure out how to take a certain percentage of Bill Gates' money competently, and Jeff Bezos, and Tom Steyer, and Michael Bloomberg, and Chuck Todd, and all of these frauds. Can I get an amen? Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.